Good evening, friends. Good evening, Dubey. Good evening, Darsh. You have made your attendance. Thank you very much for that with a full stop. Although we are starting from here, so this is not a full stop for us. This is a rather a beginning now. With this live, today is obviously 26th and 26th of March. That means from 2nd of April, we are having less than 7 days on our hands. And definitely watching for NEET 2026. Yes, Sanjeev, even if you are going to read these chapter for NEET, because the three chapters, the combination of three chapters which I'm having over here is the physical chemistry basics of class 12th. So we'll be starting with solution, then we'll be moving to electrochemistry, and after that we'll be dealing with chemical kinetics. So this live, I guess I'll be taking around 1.5 hours or maybe 2 hours, and within this 1 to 2 hour of time you will be able to attempt 3 questions, maybe 4 questions in your JEE mains. And like Sanjeev is saying, for NEET also it will rather be very helpful. So let us begin with the process. Santosh, good evening. Reddy, good evening. Arpan, good evening. Kiran, hello beta. So let's start with the yeah, perfect. Sir, yes, beta. I mean, although if you go by my degree, then I am BTech from NIT Kurukshetra. But yes, my AIR was around 6,000 back in 2007, and at our time there were only 6 IITs, and there were no OBC quota. So my college in my year has taken around 418 students. So that time there were very few seats available. So yes, I mean, but I consider that to be a win because I just took a drop, and within a frame of that drop period, I have prepared and cleared JEE. So yes, I feel I have cleared that examination. So Sanjeev is ready. Kiran is having paper on 2nd of April. Best of luck with that. Ready also 2nd of April. So with that enthusiasm, let us start with the first chapter of today, which is solution. So as I've already said, we'll be starting with solution. After that, we'll be directly jumping to electrochemistry, and post that, okay, you were born in 207. Anyways, so and post that we'll be moving to chemical kinetics. So here we'll be dealing, because I've been getting this comments from loads of students that, sir, 12th physical chemistry was pending. It was yes, because the one shots we haven't pushed in the YouTube, because as far as the chemistry is concerned, even if I know all the class 12 board students, you must have read that level of NCRT, and that level of NCRT is good enough. Black mystery, good evening. Arpan is having paper on 8th of April. So good. And the reason I have not taken, because these chapters are very simple, guys. Now today I'll be discussing the complete chapter with the complete this is the theory you have to know for a mains level of question. For an advanced level of question, yes, the theory may tickle you, but for your mains per se, essentially for your 1st of April attempt, the JEE mains attempt you're having, you will be getting question from these concepts only. Mark my word, we'll be meeting in the live discussion of the paper that we'll obviously be having at PWJ English channel. So you will be getting the same concept. We'll check, you come and post that comment. I am definitely sure you will be getting one question from this area. Not one, actually 3 questions, maybe 4. Why? Because I've taken 3 chapters. So starting with solutions. Sir, what is the first thing we have to know about solution, sir? The vapor pressure. Now let us revise that vapor pressure with a question. Sir, we definitely know what is vapor pressure. The pressure exerted by the vapors of a liquid. So let's say I have a liquid over here. Let's say this liquid is kept at a temperature T, and at this temperature it will definitely be making some vapors. So from the concept of equilibrium that we have, let's say this is A in liquid state, and at temperature T, sum of A is forming gaseous molecules. So rather, what shall be the equilibrium? Sir, A liquid is in equilibrium with A gaseous. So can you tell me for this physical equilibrium, what will be the value of equilibrium constant K? Yes, sir, definitely concentration of product upon reactant. Now, what is product over here? So gas. Now, for a gaseous equilibrium, rather, what form of equilibrium constant we write? We write equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressure, so Kp. So it will be partial pressure of gas A raised to the power 1, and pure solid and pure liquid do not, I mean, their pressure, the pressure that they apply is negligible in comparison to that of a gas. So definitely for them, I am not taking them to my consideration. So I'm marking them as unity. So you can directly see that the partial pressure which a gaseous component is making at a particular temperature T is equal to the equilibrium constant, which is definitely a constant, and it is independent of the amount of water you have taken. So if this temperature is T, then if you take a bucket of liquid or a ocean of liquid, the pressure will always be equal to equilibrium constant K. That's why for the vapor pressure of water, we refer to that as aqueous tension, because aqueous tension is independent of the amount of water taken. As you increase the temperature, because this is an endothermic process, so from the concept of equilibrium, Lee-Chatelier principle, equilibrium will be shifted to forward direction, because such vaporization processes are always endothermic, because whatever will be the enthalpy change, it will be termed as enthalpy of vaporization, and that will definitely be a positive value. Therefore, as you increase temperature, vapor pressure will increase. But that increased value is because of the increment in the value of equilibrium constant K. At a particular temperature, because value of K is constant, therefore vapor pressure will also be constant. Now, ultimately, this is not this liquid forming vapor is applying the pressure which is termed as vapor pressure. Now let us do a simple question on the basis of that. Question says you have to give me graph between that vapor pressure and temperature. Sir, ultimately you cannot only think of PV equal to nRT, because this is a equation which gas follows. Here the liquid are making the pressure that the vapors of that particular liquid is exerting. So for them, what is governing their pressure? So their pressure is governed by the value of equilibrium constant K. And for equilibrium constant K, I hope everybody remember that through the concept of equilibrium, which is Van 't Hoff equation. Now Van 't Hoff equation tells us that as you increase temperature, value of equilibrium constant K increases, and because K increases, therefore the corresponding vapor pressure will also increase. And what is this Van 't Hoff equation? It is d by dt of ln of K, as in ln of K or ln of P, is equal to delta H, obviously this delta H is delta H vaporization, upon RT square. So if we rather integrate it, I'll get ln of K2 by K1 is equal to delta H upon R into 1 upon T1 minus 1 upon T2. So if you see the actual relationship between maybe equilibrium constant K, or you can either refer to as P2 by P1. So ultimately, the vapor pressure has a exponential relationship with temperature. So as you increase temperature, if you just think by PV equal to nRT, you will say, pressure is directly proportional to temperature. So that will give you an idea of a straight line. But actually, for the vapors that is produced by a liquid, for that vapor pressure, it is governed by equilibrium constant K, and hence definitely if you increase the temperature, vapor pressure will increase, but increment will be exponential. So I hope everybody has digested with that concept. And yeah, perfect. Sanjeev, Santosh, yes. So this is the first topic which you should know of the introduction of vapor pressure. Now, sir, why we have to heat a liquid and then only it converts and give vapors? Because liquids and all the related molecules are attracted to each other. What is the strongest force of attraction, sir? That we know from chemical bonding, also from states of matter, also that strongest intermolecular force is hydrogen bond. Less than that, we have dipole attraction, and the least interactive forces, the least strength is possessed by which interactive forces? The London dispersion forces. And such knowledge of chemical bonding will also help you to do some theory based question. Now why I'm literally attempting these theory based questions, because they were the questions which has made the January attempt difficult, because students are not focusing on the logical theory. So let us attempt that logical theory. The question says, now this is a January 2020 question. The question says, graph of vapor pressure and temperature for three different liquid X, Y, Z are given. This is the graph. The statement says you have to tell that out of these statements which is the correct statement. So statement 1 is X has a higher intermolecular interactions compared to Y. Sir, this is temperature, this is pressure. So for the let's say I take this pressure as 100 atm, whatever is the unit, let's say it is 100 mm of He. So this pressure is attained by X at a temperature of, let's say, somewhere around 313. Sir, Y attains the same pressure but at a higher temperature, and Z attains the same pressure at even higher temperature. That means which molecules must be attracted to each other with the largest extent? Sir, Z, because in order to give the same vapor pressure, it is requiring even higher temperature. So that clearly says that order of interaction will be what? Sir, Z will be having highest intermolecular force of attraction, Y will be having lesser, and the least intermolecular attraction will be of X. I hope it is clear. Now, statement 1 says X has higher. No sir, it has lower. X has lower, yes, definitely. Z has lower, no sir, Z has highest. So only option B is correct. That means your answer is definitely, yeah. Sanjeev is also right, Santosh is also right. Moving to the next question. Now, such theory based questions are definitely probable for you because you have to read those questions. Yeah, perfect, Santosh. Moving to the next one, again a JEE mains question. So now it is asking us, now we are going to colligative properties, because after learning vapor pressure, first colligative property that we should know is relative lowering of vapor pressure. So whenever we add a solute in a solvent, vapor pressure decreases. Why? Because now you give the heat to the non-volatile solid solute also, but it will not create any pressure. Therefore, the lowering of vapor pressure happens whenever we add a non-volatile solute to a volatile solvent. I hope everybody is with me on this. Yeah, perfect. The previous question, somebody is saying 2. Okay, you are saying 2 because B. No beta, option framing is also crucial for attempting a question. So B is correct. So which one is correct? B. So option 1 is your answer. Moving to this question, let us read the question now. An open beaker of water in equilibrium with its water vapor is in a sealed container. Okay. When a few grams of glucose, now this glucose is what? Sir, it is a non-volatile solute. So if I add a non-volatile solute to a solvent, what will happen to the vapor pressure? It will decrease. Why? Because now lesser molecules will go from liquid state to the vapor phase. So let us read the statement. The question says the rate at which water as in solvent molecules leave the solution, it increases. No sir, because if it will increase, then vapor pressure will rise. No sir, vapor pressure decreases. So leaves, vapor increases, leaves the solution. No sir, you have to leave the solution. Once pressure is applied, then liquid molecules leave from the solution and go to the gaseous phase. So it is saying leaves the vapor? No. Leaves the vapor? No. Yes. You leave the solution, but you leave the solution with a lesser speed. So you should decrease. So what will be your answer? Option 4. Santosh, I hope everybody got this. Now this is a theoretical question, although it is a good question. I hope everybody is clear. Leaves the vapor decreases? No beta. Leaves the solution, because the liquid water leaves the solution phase and enters the vapor phase, that creates the pressure. And that pressure that is created by the liquid molecules, lesser number of molecules will be going, then only you will be having decrement in the pressure. So I hope, Santosh, we are clear with this, that option 4 will be your answer, because now lesser liquid molecules of water will be going into the vapor phase, and because lesser molecules will be going, so vapor pressure will decrease. Okay, you didn't understand. Nice option. Okay. So for Samvid Nayak, I'm again explaining this beta. Now, again listen to this fact. Suppose at temperature T, I was just having this liquid. And let's say at temperature T, 100 molecules of liquid were going to vapor phase and creating some pressure. Let's say that pressure is 100 bar, whatever it is. Let's say that pressure is 100 bar. Now, if to the same component, if I've taken the same component, but this time I'm adding a non-volatile solid solute. Let's say this non-volatile solid solute is glucose. Now I am again heating it to the same temperature T. Let's say to make this liquid go to temperature T, I required 100 joule of energy. So still I am supplying 100 joule of energy. But after supplying this 100 joule of energy, some energy, let's say some energy will be taken by this non-volatile solid solute. Let's say it has taken 30 rupees. So now only 70 rupees will be given to the liquid water molecules. So now I have got 70 rupees. When I was having all the 100 rupees, 100 bar pressure I was creating. But now, because I have got only 70 rupees of energy, I will not be going to the vapor phase with the same extent. I'll be going to a lesser extent. So number of water molecules leaving the solution will decrease. Number of water molecule leaving the solution will decrease. So this is a JEE mains question. I have not made this question by myself. We have gone crazy. Arey sir, itna lamba theory, this much of theory they are asking in January JEE. No, they were knocking your doors since previous sessions. Yes, they have compiled more number of questions in a similar paper. That's why the time that you require to attempt chemistry has increased. Now, I hope, Mr. Nayak, I have explained the theory to you again properly. Moving to the next question. Now, such questions are, I would rather say, easy to attempt because they are not having that rigorous theory. So let us do this question. The question says, again a JEE mains question. Such type of questions are also very probable. Okay, perfect. So the question says a solution is made by mixing 1 mole of a volatile liquid A and 3 moles of a volatile liquid B. Now here, both component A and B are volatile, so both will create pressure. So we definitely know from Raoult's law, what do we know? That total pressure of solution is equal to partial pressure of A plus partial pressure of B. Partial pressure of A, this is according to Dalton's law, and according to Raoult's law, I know partial pressure of A is equal to partial pressure of A in its pure state into its mole fraction in liquid state, which is chi A, plus P naught B into chi B, which is mole fraction of B in liquid phase. Now, obviously this is quite easy because 1 mole of A is added, 3 moles of B is added. So total I have added 4 moles. So chi A will be 1 by 4 and chi B will be 3 by 4. I hope everybody is digested, is comfortable with this fact. Now, vapor pressure of A is 200. So this is P naught A. And vapor pressure of B is, and okay, and that of solution. So this is not P, this is P total. And the vapor pressure, okay, so you just have to calculate vapor pressure of B in pure state. So PT is 500, P naught is 200 into 1 by 4 plus P naught B you have to calculate, and XB is 3 by 4. So just into divide is your job, guys, because I am focusing on the concept. Now, one more thing. So P naught B we can obviously calculate, and the next part it is saying that the least volatile component. So let me check P naught B is, if you solve, your answer will be P naught B will be coming out to be 600. Now P naught A is 200, P naught B is 600. That means at same temperature, who is making less pressure, less vapors? Sir, A. That means A molecules must be closely and strongly attracted to each other. That means it will be less volatile. So who will be the less volatile component? Sir, A will be less volatile because it is having lesser pressure at the same temperature. So answer is 600, but because A is less volatile, so option 4 will be your answer. Perfect, perfect. Everybody is participating to best extent. Perfect, guys. Now, Sanjeev, Samvid, perfect beta. Moving to the next question. The next question says, again, the same logic. I have just taken few questions to throw at you so that you, if you go to your PYQs, you will be getting hundreds of questions of the similar concept. And all the session are having questions from this area only. So even if you know nothing, yes, you should at least know the NCERT theory that you should have attempted for your class 12 boards. That 12th board theory, and with this practice of few questions, you will be able to do colligative properties as a solution, electrochemistry and chemical kinetics. That is my promise, but you have to stay for the complete session. Moving to the next one. Yeah, perfect. Next one is liquid A and B form an ideal solution. Okay, sir. The vapor pressure of pure liquid A and B are this much. Okay, that means this is P naught A, which is 350, and P naught B is 750 mm of Hg. If chi A and chi B are mole fraction of A and B, and Y and YB are mole fraction of A and B, but in vapor phase. So we have to give the relation. So ultimately, we do not have to do anything, just the basic knowledge, and then we have to compare with the result. So according to Dalton's law, what is partial pressure of A? So partial pressure of A is equal to total pressure into mole fraction of A, but in vapor phase. This is Dalton's law. And according to Raoult's law, partial pressure of A is nothing but P naught A into XA. Similarly, partial pressure of B, sir, it is equal to total pressure into mole fraction of B, but in vapor phase. This is according to Dalton's law. And according to Raoult's law, partial pressure of B is nothing but P naught B into chi B. Now, what do we know? Sir, we know that P naught A is less. Sir, P naught B is more. That means let us calculate P naught A from here. So P naught A will be equal to P total into YA upon XA. Can you tell me what is P naught B? Yes, sir. P naught B will be equal to P total into YB upon XB. Somebody prefer it calling chi. So because I know P naught A is less, that means P total into YA upon XA will be lesser. Why? Because this P naught A is 350. So P naught A is lesser than P naught B, which is P total into YB upon XB. You do not have to write completely for your examination because I am explaining it with all the basics. That's why I'm doing everything for you. So just compare. Sir, YA upon YB. Okay, so YA upon YB will be coming over here. That will be less than. So YA upon YB will be less than XB upon XA. YA upon YB will be less than, okay, XA upon XB and XA upon XB. Yeah. So you just have to, yeah, perfect. Everybody have got the answer. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Perfect, perfect. Moving to the next one. So, I mean, basic. Similarly, this next question, the same logic you have to apply. I hope you can attempt this question by yourself now. Yeah, perfect. So this is my homework from me to you. The similar logic you have to apply, and the same question that was also 2025. This is also 2025. So same logic they have used, they are using, and they will be using. Moving to the next one. The next question says, at 35 degrees Celsius, the vapor pressure of CS2, which is carbon disulfide, and carbon disulfide is C double bond S double bond S. That means ultimately it is a non-polar molecule, so it will be attracted by weak London dispersion forces. So vapor pressure of this guy is 512, and that of acetone. Acetone is definitely a polar molecule, and its vapor pressure is definitely less because it is having strong intermolecular force of attraction. A solution of CS2 and acetone has a total pressure of this much. Okay. The false statement. Now again, such questions are quite difficult for us. Why? Because again, theory, so we have to know the concept in and out. Now I know because this is non-polar and this is a polar molecule. So sir, they will not like each other, and because they will not like each other, so they will rather show this molecule will move away and this molecule will also move away because they have a lesser interaction, and therefore they will form a solution which shows positive deviation from Raoult's law. Sir, how to learn? That is what I'm telling you. If the two components that you are mixing belong to the same family, like for example chlorobenzene, bromobenzene, benzene, toluene, they are basically of same family. So you have same type of compounds, they will rather always form ideal solution. If they have different intermolecular forces of attraction, then they will be going away from each other. They'll be creating what type of non-ideal solution? Non-ideal solution showing positive deviation from Raoult's law. And whenever you have some special attraction force between them, that is obviously hydrogen bonding, then they come closer to each other and form a non-ideal solution which shows negative deviation from Raoult's law. So this is obviously an example of positive deviation. Now let us explore the options. The option says we have to identify the false statement. Make sure students miss this, the false statement. CS2 and acetone are less attracted. Yes, they are less attracted to each other. That is why they are showing positive deviation. So this is correct. So not an answer. Heat must be absorbed in order to produce the solution. Sir, for solution showing positive deviation from Raoult's law, when you mix them, enthalpy change is also positive. So because enthalpy change is positive, that means their mixing is endothermic. So definitely they will absorb the heat. So because this is also correct, therefore not an answer. Raoult's law is that definitely it is a non-ideal solution, so Raoult's law will not be followed. So this is also correct, so not an answer. So obviously this is incorrect, this is false. Let us read why it is false. A mixture of 100 of this and 100 ml of this has a volume. Now no sir, when you mix a solution which is showing positive deviation, then delta V mixing will also be, because 100 I'm mixing, but they are not in love with each other, so they will fall away, they will move away from each other, so they will be acquiring more volume. So on mixing, delta V will be more than 200. 100 and 100, I'm not saying it will be tremendously more, but yes, substantially it will be larger than 200, because it is saying less than 200, so it is definitely false and an answer for you. Perfect, Santosh, perfect. Sarji is 25, 26, more than enough, Prince. And in Prince, instead of talking about the question, na beta, look at the logic. The question may change, the data may change, but the logics always keep on repeating. And this is the logic you are going to be pitched for these 3 chapters, because they are really very predictable, beta. So please, with intention, I have came in the very last days of your JEE, because all the students who do not know anything about these chapters, with this live you will be comfortable. Moving to the next one. Attempt this one by the time I sip some water and read your comments. Randomly मिल गया ये चैनल, लेकिन अब आपका वीडियो हमेशा देख रहा हूँ, बहुत अच्छा लगता है पढ़ने में. Guru Gamer, I am very grateful that I am of use to you. Thank you, beta. That is the motive also. Attempt this one. I need answer, guys. दुबे जी, participation बहुत अच्छा है, but I need answer also from you, यार. I mean, hats off, you always put us comment before every class. I hope we are helping you also with the questions. So keep attempting also, beta, with us. Sir, can I just watch PYQ at 2x instead of solving? हाँ बेटा, yes. मतलब if you know these chapters, then you may watch it with 2x speed later on. But yes, if you require some informations, some clarifications, then you should be watching live. So it is entirely upon you, beta. Hello, sir, Dubey ji, Radhe Krishna. Huh, okay. Okay, first. Now, beta, I'm giving you I have deliberately taken this question also. You know why? I have taken all the questions, and what students face problem is in identifying is, how can you know, sir, that these two solution on mixing form a negative deviation? As I said, the two components who are mixed, they should have some special attraction force. That special attraction force is always the intermolecular hydrogen bond. So there are very special cases, and I have listed all the important special cases for you. So learn them, beta. Learn them not by heart, by everything, by your heart and soul. These are the famous examples of solutions which can show you negative deviation from Raoult's law. Chloroform, which is CHCl3. So because of 3 chlorine, the negativity on carbon is increased. As a result, hydrogen becomes delta positive, and this plus can attract minus. So what are the minus that it attracts? It attracts minus of acetone. It attracts the electron cloud of benzene also. Many students do not know this, that chloroform and benzene can also have attraction, which shows negative deviation. Chloroform and even diethyl ether, because oxygen has that negative which can attract this plus, so they also form negative deviation from Raoult's law. This is famous NCERT example, water and HCl, water and nitric acid, they also form. So this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Now acetone and aniline, this minus and the positivity of hydrogen bonded NH, they also show negative deviation from Raoult's law, 5th option. And phenol and aniline, because of hydrogen bonding, they also show negative deviation from Raoult's law. You should learn them. Now coming to the question, after learning them, which of the following binary solution does not show the behavior of minimum boiling azeotrope? Now azeotrope is a mixture which has same composition in liquid phase also and in vapor phase also. That means for an azeotropic solution, chi A is equal to Ya and chi B is equal to Yb. How many types of azeotropic solution I have? 2, minimum boiling and maximum boiling. Minimum boiling are those who combined has a minimum boiling point. So why they have a minimum boiling point? That means the solutions must be showing positive deviation from Raoult's law, because they are showing high pressure at the same temperature. Therefore you are supposed to supply them lesser temperature to boil. That's why they form minimum boiling azeotrope. Just to summarize, minimum boiling azeotropic mixture shows positive deviation from Raoult's law. So ultimately, who does not show positive deviation from Raoult's law? Ideal solution and negative. So do I have any ideal solution over here? No. So we have to search the negative deviation showing mixture. So this is definitely the negative deviation showing mixture. So our answer will be option 2. Yeah, Kiran is right. U4H. I hope you have got the answer, beta. Answer is not 3, answer is 2. Beautifully 2. But that too you can only predict if you learn this table. I hope everybody is in sync with this table. Please write this table if you have not seen it before. Moving to the next one. Now this is a basic common sense question which actually gives you, now this is also a JEE mains question. It was just checking you with the knowledge that whether you know the definition of boiling point. So what is boiling point? Boiling point is the temperature at which vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to atmospheric pressure. What is atmospheric pressure? Atmospheric pressure is 1 atm. So for the solvent is reaching, the vapor pressure of solvent is reaching to the extent of atmospheric pressure at what temperature? Sir, at 82 degrees Celsius. So this is boiling point of pure solvent that we represent as TB naught. And we definitely know once you add a non-volatile solute, boiling point elevation takes place. So when you are forming a solution, I'm having an elevation in boiling point. So this is delta TB, and this 85 degrees Celsius will be boiling point of solution, which we generally represent as TB. So ultimately, what is the boiling point of solvent? 82, boiling point of solution 83. Now let us check the question. It is saying the vapor pressure versus temperature curve is given. Okay, you have to tell the boiling point of solvent, a piece of cake, which is 82 degrees Celsius. So our answer will be 82. But yes, graphical questions, JEE initially advanced, found very useful. Now mains are using them. So be well prepared with them. Another graphical question for you. Consider the given plot of vapor pressure versus temperature, and you have to select the correct, but with respect to freezing point. What is freezing point? So freezing point when the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid component and the solid component both becomes equal. So we definitely must have seen this graph from NCERT, but let me explain this graph for you. So I mean, most of us will be comfortable with this graph, but those who are not, and I am here because those who are not comfortable, I'm explaining everything for them. So ultimately, solid has some vapor pressure, and the temperature at which the vapor pressure of a solvent becomes equal to the vapor pressure of a solid, that temperature is called freezing point. That means this is the vapor pressure of the solid component. Yes, I definitely know solid will have a vapor pressure of very lesser magnitude, no matter. But that solid will also have a vapor pressure, which I have shown by a green color. Now, as I decrease the temperature, I definitely know vapor pressure will also decrease. This is the vapor pressure of solvent, which is decreasing because I'm decreasing temperature. And at this temperature, vapor pressure of solvent is becoming equal to vapor pressure of the solid form. So this temperature shall be the freezing point of solvent. So this is TF naught. Now, once we add a non-volatile solid solute, the vapor, the depression in freezing point, there is a depression in freezing point. That means once I'm adding a non-volatile solid solute, the vapor pressure is decreasing. And if you further decrease the temperature, the vapor pressure will keep on decreasing. But at what point it has again become equal to that of the solid state? At this temperature. And this temperature will be freezing point of solution, and C, the difference is the depression in freezing point. So this is the beautiful graph from NCERT which everybody should know, and I have tried to explain that also. Now I hope everybody is comfortable with this also. Moving to the next question, which says 0.5 molar copper sulfate, elevation in boiling point, depression in boiling point. We have done through graphs. Now, this much of copper sulfate when treated with this much concentration of K2Cr27 gives green color. Okay, first it is giving us some information that green color is formed because of formation of this. Now, the reaction is happening through a semi-permeable membrane. Now, this is my semi-permeable membrane with which I have separated these two solutions. This is X and this is Y, having this K2Cr27 and this copper sulfate. Sir, but they are solute. And sir, we know semi-permeable membrane is like a channi by which you chanofy your chai. So that channi, that semi-permeable membrane, those small pores will only allow solvent. They will not allow the fatty solute molecules to pass through them. So ultimately, they can never interact because of the distinction between them through a semi-permeable membrane. So it will be acting as an obstacle. But yes, what will be flowing? Solvent, because solvent can flow. In fact, only solvent can flow through this through this semi-permeable membrane. So whether you are going to see some color? No, sir. Why? Because solute is not moving. Solute is maintained in the two compartments. But yes, osmosis will allow the flow of solvent from where? From higher concentration of solvent. Now at this compartment solute is high, here solute is less. That means at the compartment of copper sulfate, which is the Y slide, at this compartment you have more solute. That means relatively with respect to X, I'll be having less solvent. That means at compartment X, I will be having more solvent with respect to Y. So solvent will flow from higher concentration of solvent to lower concentration of solvent. That means solvent will be moving from this side to that side. So ultimately, if but number of moles of solute are same, but because volume is decreasing, here volume is decreasing. So here concentration will rise. Why? Because volume is decreasing. And over there, because it is getting diluted, because water is coming. So because of dilution, the concentration will decrease. So let us check the option. Concentration, which is molarity of K2Cr2O7, no sir, it will be increased, not decreased, hence it is also incorrect. And molarity of copper sulfate, yes, that will decrease because it is getting diluted. So this is beautifully correct question, a very good question, I will rather say. They have asked osmosis but not the basic formula. The basic formula everybody knows, that pi is equal to ICRT, but a very beautiful question, and from JEE Mains 2024. I hope everybody's, yeah. So Sanjeev, option, Sanjeev, I hope now you know it is option 4. I'm giving more questions, beta. For the coming hour, I mean, I'll be finishing the 40 important questions, so don't worry. Sit back and keep on attempting. Now, sir, what about sir formula? No, learn the formula, because you get questions from that formula also. What is the formula? RLVP P naught minus PS upon P net is equal to XB, number of moles of solute upon total moles. Delta TB is equal to I into KB into molality. Delta TF is equal to I into KF into molality. And osmotic pressure is equal to ICRT. You should know those formulas. They are also asked. I'm not saying. But yes, if your paper, your session is having theoretical question, then you should attempt such questions, because those questions you must have done with your NCRT basics also. So where students again find problem is the calculation of I. So let me give you calculation of I. 34. Perfect, Darshan. Perfect, bhai. So directly going to the answer. Calculation of I, the Van 't Hoff factor is, for case of dissociation, it is 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. You should learn this formula. Very important. I'll show you why it is important. You'll get number of questions with this also. And students don't learn this formula. Do learn them. The percentage dissociation of salt. Now this is mx3. So what is value of n? Sir, mx3 once goes into solution forms m plus 3 aqueous and thrice of x minus aqueous. That means 1 part of this is forming 1 mole of this and 3 moles of this. So actually value of n is 4 for such type of salt. That is the only logic you should understand. So because value of n is 3, so value of I becomes 1 plus 4 minus 1 is 3 alpha. Let us check what is given to us. Okay, the question is supplying us with the value of I, which is 2. So 2 equals 1 plus 3 alpha. That means 3 alpha is nothing but 1. That is alpha is equal to 0.33. You are just asked the percentage, so your answer will be 33.33. So you should pick 33 as your answer. I hope everybody is comfortable with this. Moving to the next one. The similar logic. A to B, I'm not solving this for you. This is but okay. What is the value of n? So 2 plus 1 as in 3. What is value of alpha? 30% as in 0.3. So you can clearly calculate value of I. I hope I've already given you the formula. Yeah, perfect. Moving to the next one. Now, after colligative properties, the last portion which is loved by NTA is the knowledge of Henry's law. Because the cold drink that you drink, The fizz, you feel that fizz because the pressure of CO2 that is dissolved inside your cold drink, the same proportionally, the same pressure has to be maintained above the solution as well. Hence, when the bottle is closed under pressure of CO2, once you remove the cork of that bottle, you get that fizz. But once you again close it, because you have not pressurized CO2 inside, so the fizziness goes and the cold drink appears to you as a sweet water and the fizz is gone. The law is nothing but Henry's law, which is also very simple. It just tells you that partial pressure of gas over solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction that is present inside the solution. So mole fraction inside the solution is represented by chi of that gas, and here the proportionality constant becomes Henry's law constant, which is kH. So rather, if you have same pressure of two different gases, then the product will be constant. So a gas having higher solubility in water, will relatively has a lower value of the value of K. So low value of KH refers high solubility of the gas. I hope everybody is digested with this logic. Now, sir, how to find out molar solubility? That is what I'm trying to tell you, Darshan. So this is the similar question which you are asking. I'm just going to do that only. Darshan, just hold on. In this question, which is also, this is also JEE Mains question. It is asking that Henry law constant, the value of KH is given, the unit is in kilobar, and these data are given for alpha, beta, gamma, delta type of gases at some temperature. Density of water is also given too, and you are asked that what is the table that is given, what is implied by the table. What is implied by the table? Again, a question which will help you understand Henry law also to a better way, and a question where you have to read the theory also. So a perfect question for practice. Now, read the first statement. It is saying alpha has highest solubility in water. Sir, you have already summarized that if value of K is large, then solubility is, if K is low, then solubility is high. So if KH is high, then solubility will be less. So alpha, if you see, has highest KH. So because alpha has highest KH, so it will be rather least soluble. I hope everybody can digest that logic. It is saying alpha has highest solubility, so this is definitely incorrect. Now, solubility of gamma, as in this. Yes, gamma has least value of KH among the four. So this will be most soluble, definitely correct. And it is saying solubility of gamma at 308. Okay, here it is given at 298, so it is increasing the temperature. So when temperature is increased, solubility will be lowered. This is definitely correct. We already know this. If you heat your cold drink, the fizziness will go because CO2 dissolved will be gone. Because of that extra temperature, the kinetic energy will increase. This is definitely correct. But are you implying this with the data given? No, sir. We are implying this through the common sense, but not through the data. Very beautiful thing. Understand this. Even in 2020, when this question came, we, along with few friends, chemistry teachers of mine, we fought with each other. Arey bhai, this is correct. But what JEE did, this was not an answer. You tell me this is correct. But are you implying this using the table? No. The table is not implying this. We know this. This is a common sense. This is correct. But is table implying this? No. Because table is not implying this. Therefore, this is incorrect. Beautiful question. I hope everybody is digesting this. Now, coming to the logic where what Darshan is asking. Sir, how to calculate solubility? See, the pressure of you have to calculate the pressure of 55.55 molar solution of delta. This is delta. Okay. And let us calculate the pressure. So if I calculate pressure, you can calculate some other things also. Perfect, Darshan. So Darshan, now for your calculation per se things, what don't see this value, it is 250. You tell me what is the pressure of that delta when molality is given out to be 55.55. Now let us do mathematics. So I need some space. So you please. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Actually, whenever I do this now from my in my Max Hub, in my teaching panel, it get hanged. So I was very nervous of making it short. But yeah, thank God. So it is not hanged. So let us work on the question. The question says molality is 55.55. So molality is 55.55. It means this much moles of gas which is solute in molality as in 1 kg as in 100,000 gram of water, because molality is moles of solute in weight of solvent. So can you tell me what will be mole fraction of gas? Yes, this is the moles of solute. So number of moles of solute upon numbers of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. This is 55.55 upon solute is 55.55, and everybody knows that 100 upon 18 is also 55.55. So 55.55 is cancelled. So this is 1 by 2 as in 0.5. So mole fraction is 0. So can you calculate partial pressure of gas? Yes, sir. KH of the gas into its mole fraction, which is 0.5. And KH is given out to be 0.5. So 0.5 into 0.5. 55 is 25. So 0.25. And this will be value of KH is in, okay, it is in kilobar. So in terms of bar, it will be into 10 raised power 3 bar. So this is nothing but 250 bar. Yes. What is the option? It is saying 250 bar. So this is definitely correct and hence an answer. Obviously, it is not 1 bar and that is correct. So this is how you do calculations, beta. So molar solubility, beta, see, solubility you can estimate using any concentration terms. So for whenever for a gas you are given with mole mole fraction, so solubility can be expressed in any concentration term. And whenever you have a Henry law related problem, you specify the solubility in terms of mole fraction. That is what we have tried and estimated. I hope we are clear with this. Sir G, I think to watch all PYQ from YEE 2x complete syllabus solving and learn approach if question, but many says it's giving wrong confidence. I do not know what should I do. Beta, see, that is what I said, Prince. Once you ask na ki sir, I'll see with the 2x speed. See, that is what I answered you. That if you feel you're confident with the theory and you just need practice of questions, then you should see with the 2x speed. But rather, if you're not, then you should do and solve and practice with me. Why? Because in your examination also, the question will be talking to you. And then you will be solving also. So you will be talking to yourself. So instead to learn and to practice talking to yourself, talk to a teacher. As in, do the question with a live version, because I will be acting as your mind and you will be solving with me. So that will obviously give you a sync of solving in a paper. Sir, I and alpha relation for dissociation. Okay. So dissociation and association. Acha. Let me take this small space and write that formula for you, beta. So for dissociation, I have already given you the formula, which is I is 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. N is number of fragments to which the molecule breaks. And for association, I is 1 plus 1 upon n minus 1 into beta. This beta is degree of association. it is generally given for a question. Generally mains don't ask association question, but yes, for a good level of question. And what is N? If somebody is getting dimerized, so put N equal to 2. If somebody is getting trimerized, so put N equal to 3. Tetramerized, N equal to 4, so on. I hope everybody is clear with this. Darshan is saying, sir, I'm done revising my syllabus for question solving. Shall I do PYQ or my test series? Beta, first PYQs. And after doing PYQs, in order to know what is your stand, do the test paper. And after test paper, analyze the paper. And wherever the areas where you feel you are falling back, attempt PYQs of that area now. I hope I've answered, because that is the most focused approach a student can have at this point of time. So kindly do that. Yes, yes, idli, perfect. Moving to the next chapter, which is electrochemistry. Student fear from this chapter. Yes, for an advanced level of paper, this may seem a difficult chapter, but for mains have also increased association of ionic equilibrium with electrochemistry. So what ionic equilibrium we should know? Ionic equilibrium, in the previous 40 question live, I have discussed ionic equilibrium questions with logics. So with that ionic theory and equilibrium concept and ionic theory and electrochemistry concept, such questions will be more than comfortable for you, more than sufficient for you to attempt an electrochemistry question. So let us explore electrochemistry now. My weak area during examination time is physical chemistry, numerical, sir. I feared that is what that start practicing, Darshan, more and more. Fear will only be gone once you practice more. So let us begin with electrochemistry now. Don't fear, fight it. Okay, the very first thing is, sir, from redox reaction we know at one electrode oxidation takes place, at another electrode reduction takes place. If we connect them using a metallic wire, and then to neutralize the compartment we use salt bridge, and we get an electrochemical cell. Now, which electrode oxidizes and which electrode reduces is defined by the potential of those electrodes. So those electrodes with respect to hydrogen, because if you take two different electrodes, how to calculate their electrode potential? We have to take somebody as reference. So the chosen reference is hydrogen electrode, and with respect to hydrogen electrode, we have calculated the electrode potential of all the available electrodes that are supplied to us in question, also in main life, also to make that electrochemical cell. Now, you need not learn all the electrode potentials. Actually, technically, I'm telling you, for a mains level of question, you do not have to learn the series. But yes, advanced love them. Mains also, for a bit, they also love them. So just I'm giving you this table to learn. This is the mnemonic for learning the order of electrode potential. So the element which is at the top, which is fluorine, it is having so here the Li plus is having the least value of E naught, which is the electrode potential. So because it is having least value of E naught, as in it is having least value of reduction potential, that means Li plus will be the last species to take up electron and forming lithium solid. Sir, we obviously know lithium is a very reactive metal, and metal will try to be in aqueous condition and in an ionic form. So Li plus taking electron and getting reduced will be highly unfavorable. So its electrode potential will be least. That means it do not want to get reduced. That means it, because I can't reduce, so therefore I can't oxidize you. So this will be your least oxidizing agent, and the above one will become the most strong oxidizing agent. So fluorine is the most famous oxidizing agent, which oxidizes others and reduces itself. That means fluorine F2 gains electron and quickly forms fluoride ion. I hope everybody is in sync, but you should just learn the relative order of these ions. With the mnemonic, famous men clean clothes, otherwise all silver feel copper. For example, fluorine, for Mn I'm taking MnO4 minus the permanganate ion, clean as in chlorine, clothes as in the dichromate ion, otherwise as an oxygen, all as in gold, silver, iron, copper. Now all these have higher electrode potential, higher reduction potential than the reference electrode, which is hydrogen. Hydrogen gaining electron and forming hydrogen gas, this is taken as a reference electrode with potential, with electrode potential, standard electrode potential as 0 volt. So all of them has higher electrode potential. That means their electrode potential will be positive, and obviously their electrode potential will be negative. So because they have negative electrode potential, that means they are reactive metals. So metal plus water can form hydrogen gas, but they also cannot form hydrogen gas with acid. And what are these metals? This is a rhyme: zinc, Z, zinc, iron, nickel, as in Z as in zinc, I as in iron, N as in nickel. And you can learn the remaining, although I'm giving you another rhyme for them. Another rhyme I have learned like this: Li ka ba, ka na magal, until aluminium. This is the order. Yes, I've taken few more elements because for an advanced type of questions, while discussing the Faraday electrolysis, you have to judge about two things. First is the quantitative analysis, quantitative as in how much it is produced, and one is qualitative analysis as in what is produced. So for advanced level of questions, the learning of the relative tendencies sometimes becomes very crucial. So this the reactivity of metal rhyme is separately I have learned, and I make my students learn, which is li ka ba, ka na magal. So this you can add in this area. In the above version you have zinc, zinc as in ZIN. Zinc is definitely zinc, I as in iron, N as in nickel. Above them you have the mnemonic: famous men clean clothes, otherwise all silver feels copper. So this mnemonic, yes, you should learn for an advanced level of question. But sir, what about mains level of question? You do not have to learn. Why? Because such questions you get in your mains examination. But still I have invested that much amount of time because I want to convey all the best possible things to all the students, and a student who must be listening to this with an intention that no sir, I want 99 plus percentile, then it will be helping that student also. Now why I am saying you should not learn that mnemonic or the relative tendencies for a mains level of question, because they supply you with the data. Question is saying these are the electrode potential of 4 different electrodes. Now you have to select the strongest reducing agent. Now reducing agent reduces other. So if I reduce you, I will oxidize myself. So who can oxidize itself? Who will have the strongest oxidation potential? Let us check. So this is reduction, this is reduction, because 0 to -1, this is reduction and this is reduction. So ultimately the reduction potential is given. This is positive, positive, positive and negative. So in order to estimate their oxidation potential, reverse the reaction. So this will become negative, 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 and only this will be positive. That means chromium oxidizing to Cr+3 has a positive potential. Remaining everybody has negative oxidation potential. So who will be having the highest tendency to oxidize itself? If I oxidize myself, I will reduce others. So chromium will be the strongest reducing agent, because reducing agent reduces other and oxidizes itself. So chromium will oxidize itself because it has highest potential. So my answer will be nothing but chromium. And that's why I said for a mains level of question, you do not have to invest yourself with such mnemonics. Now attempt the next question. By the time I read some comments, I need answer with this one, guys. It is so difficult. Yes, beta, electrochemistry, I mean, yes, if you have just started with the chapter as of now, then I would also definitely suggest you should leave electrochemistry question in your mains paper, because for electrochemistry they are generally asking good questions. Huh. But if you do this 40 darshan, if you do these 40 questions with your knowledge of class 12 board level of electrochemistry, then these 40 questions will make electrochemistry solution and chemical kinetics possible for you in your JEE mains paper. Yes, I can assure you that. नहीं बेटा 76.89 ऋषभ गवर्नमेंट नहीं मिलेगा हाँ मे बी नहीं बेटा your government the state level government colleges also depends what state you have and what category you belong to. So if in that case you may get a state level government engineering college, but still difficult. So I have to know your other so that's why Rishabh I can't comment. But yes, why you are relying on that 76 beta? You are still having that April attempt now, so give it your final try first. Yeah, sir, please do electrochemistry PYQ, which is so lengthy and difficult. Beta, I've already most the 2026 PYQs, the important PYQ sessions, I've already taken in the live. You go to the live section of PWJ English YouTube channel. You will be seeing a marathon of chemistry marathon of 2026 most important questions of January attempt. So you will be finding all those questions. That's why here I have not taken 2026 questions. I have taken the previous questions, but with these questions also, I am focusing on the logic. Logic is going to be repeated. Don't worry. Chalo. Sir, what is the concept behind this question? Just one concept. Extensive and intensive. Potential as in E naught is an intensive quantity. So it does not depend upon amount. So you can't add and subtract this because this does not depend upon amount. So rather, if you calculate delta G naught, because it is like a work and work is always dependent upon amount, that means because it is extensive, so you can add, subtract any reaction and delta G will be getting added and subtracted, but not the value of potential. So what we rather do, we do the multiplication, addition, subtraction with respect to delta G. Your mains is filled with such questions. So over here, we are asked electrode potential of FeO4 2 minus as in from this side to Fe plus 2 as in to this side. So Fe, how can I go from here till here? So first I should go from this here to here, and the potential for that is given out to be 2 volt. So let us write it in form of reaction. So FeO4 2 minus getting into Fe plus 3. So ultimately, what are we doing over here? Sir, ultimately, iron, which is in what oxidation state? X minus 8 equals minus 2 as in plus 6 is going to plus 3. So you tell me what is the number of electrons transacted. I'm not balancing the complete reaction. You just tell me the number of electrons transacted. So from plus 6 to plus 3, because plus 6 getting plus 3 as in it is getting reduced. So it must be eating how many electrons? So 3 electrons. What about the other half? So other half is Fe plus 2, plus 3 getting to ferrous iron. This is eating up how many electrons? So clearly visible 1 electron. If I add these two reactions beta, can you tell me what will be the final reaction? Sir, it will be FeO4 2 minus forming, okay, I'm sorry, this is Fe plus 2, forming Fe plus 2. This ferric ions will be getting cancelled, and here I will be having 4 electrons. And I guess this is the desired electrode potential which I want. But sir, if you add reactions, delta G will be added, not electrode value. So let's say this is delta G naught 1. Let's say this is delta G naught 2, and let's say this reaction is delta G naught 3. So I can clearly say I can form this third reaction by adding 1 and 2. So, okay, I do not have a rough page. So rather I will do here only. So I can clearly say that delta G3 is nothing but delta G1 plus delta G2. Okay, standard values. And what is the relation between delta G and E naught, sir? Minus NF E naught. So for this third, I am writing minus, what is the number of electron transferred? 4. So minus 4F E naught, this E naught I have to find, is equal to what? Delta G1, as in this one, minus 3. So minus 3F, what is the value of E naught for this change? Sir, it is 2 volt. So into 2 plus, what about the second one? So number of electron transferred is 1. So minus F. What is the potential of this transfer? So 0.8. So 0.8. Cancel the negative sign because it will be coming as common. Cancel the Faraday's number. So I'm just having the value of E naught at LHS. And this is 6 plus this is 6.8. So this E naught is clearly, okay, 3 2 just 6 plus 0.8, 6.8, but I have a 4 over here. So 6.8 divided by 4. So this is 1.7. Okay. Bingo. So such questions are not common, beta. They are very, very, very common. Perfect. Perfect Vinod. Perfect Kuni. Perfect Tanish. Okay, Tanish is getting confused between few options. I am having little bit more negatives. Tanish is saying, sir, 32 marks, 39 percentile. Why, sir, it is very less, but name same in my shift. My friend got, okay, beta, Tanish, that happens, beta. This is called the process of normalization. So you can't ask authorities. Yes, you can, practically speaking, because we are living in a democratic country, so we can. But rather, asking authorities that why it is happening, because yes, there is a case of normalization. For a same student, you have different set of percentile because it depends upon what marks you are making where. Generally, for an engineering student, scoring similar marks, if you are scoring a higher marks in mathematics and somebody is scoring, the total is same, but he has scored lesser marks in mathematics, mathematics is given more preference when there is a case of tie, and there are many other variables also. So rather going to the official thing of normalization, which is the baburi, which NTA is giving, is doing, that is their job. Your job is to maximize your score, beta, and for maximizing your score you have April. So rather invest your focus on the April attempt first, and after that we'll do all the reporter giri. Why happening this, you answer me, but we will do everything. But after the all options we have explored, then we'll go and take that lathi with us and we will fight for our democratic right. But at this point of time, Tanish, I'm advising you, beta, please invest your focus on the April attempt, not whatever results we have got initially. Yes, there are variable factors, and yes, there may be some clerical errors as well, but rather asking and going to the authorities after, because of that reason, we should first invest our attention in our betterment, which is learning. I hope I'm making sense with this, beta. Moving to the next question. Application of Nernst equation. Such questions are also very famous. I've just taken one example to let you be comfortable with the theory. You are given a cell representation. On the left side, we have the anode half. On the right side, I have the cathode half. So anode is getting oxidized. So magnesium forming Mg plus 2, giving out 2 electrons. Silver plus taking electron, forming silver solid. So because electron transaction, we have to equalize. So because one is giving 2 electrons, so I have to take 2 of the species. If I add them up, I'll get the cell reaction. So I'll be having twice of Ag plus LHS and 1 Mg plus aqueous RHS. Why I'm only considering the aqueous and not the solid? Because if I calculate the value of equilibrium constant or reaction quotient, I only have to focus on the concentration of ions, not of the pure solid. What is Nernst equation? It says E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 0, okay, because it is in the that format. So RT upon number of electron transferred is 2F into ln of concentration of product, which is Mg plus 2, because it's stoichiometrically it is 1, so power 1 upon Ag plus 2 concentration, which is reactant. Okay, I'm sorry, not plus 2, Ag plus raised to the power 2, because stoichiometrically it is 2. Now let us just the same formula is only asked out of you. Yeah, so because this is minus and this is plus, so if I do a reverse, so the Ag plus 2 will come to the numerator and this minus will become plus. So yes, this is right, obviously. So yeah, perfect. HM, right, beta? No, Videsh, I hope you are comfortable with option 1. No worries. Moving to the next question. Again, rather a basic question, but with this question, if you just know a simple logic of ionic equilibrium, you will be comfortable. Let us attempt this question together. The question says, at 298 Kelvin, the standard electrode, standard reduction potential of copper plus 2 to copper, as in copper plus 2 taking 2 electrons and forming copper solid. For this reduction half, the electrode potential is given out to be 0.34. Okay. KSP value is given. So what is KSP? As in copper hydroxide, because KSP given, that means this must be a solid and very less of the solid will be ionizing. And what will be the constituent ion? Copper plus 2 aqueous and twice of OH minus ion aqueous, but because its KSP value is given, we can clearly see it's very less, because it is less than even 10 to the power minus 3. So at equilibrium, I'll be having very less amount of copper plus 2 ion at equilibrium and very less amount of OH minus ion, but squared, because this is how we write equilibrium constant. And for a sparingly soluble salt, this equilibrium constant is called the solubility constant, which is KSP, and its value is given out to be 10 to the power minus 20. Now this we have to take this much, the reduction potential. Okay, now pH is 14 for this component, for this electrochemical cell. The pH is 14. Now because pH is 14, therefore POH will be 0, because pH plus POH is 14. So pH is 14, so POH will be 0. That means OH minus ion concentration will be, because POH is minus of log of OH minus ion. So because minus of log of OH minus ion concentration is 0, that means this is 10 raised to the power 0. Because minus of log of OH minus is minus of log of 10 raised to the power 0. So it becomes 0 into log 10. So it has to be 10 raised to the power 0, and anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So ultimately it is hidden, but concentration of OH minus ion is given to you, and OH minus ion concentration is definitely 1. So because OH minus ion concentration is 1, so I can clearly find copper plus 2 aqueous concentration at equilibrium, which is 10 raised to the power minus 20. And if we know this, then we just have to use Nernst equation, which says electrode potential is equal to standard electrode potential minus 0.059, which is given, upon number of electron transferred, which is 2 in case of copper, into log of Q, concentration of product, which is 1, upon concentration of reactant, which is copper plus 2. And this copper plus 2 concentration we have clearly calculated. So E naught value is also given, 0.34 minus 0.06 upon 2 is 3 into log of 1 upon 10 raised to the power minus 20, as in 10 raised to the power 20. You just have to do plus minus, and let me help you with the answer. Once you'll solve, you will be getting 0.25. So in this format, I mean minus of 0.25. So in this format, you will be answering as 25 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. Your answer will be 25. Yes, into divide is your job. And in fact, I want each and every one of you, after this live, take these questions and solve them by yourself. It will help you in two ways. It will be helping you to validate the answer, to practice the calculations involved, because they are directly JEE questions. And the next is you can revise also. So, chalo. I hope everybody is clear. Vinod, check your calculations. You will be getting the same answer. But yes. Okay. Maybe you should have taken 0.059. That approximation 0.06 may be incorrect. But yes, definitely you can make it a try. And that into divide will be definitely your homework. Not easy. But that practice is what will make your attempt, April attempt, with a better, efficient numbers and percentile. But for that, you have to practice. हाँ बेटा, कैलकुलेशन में गलती होता ही है बेटा. दैट इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग. दैट इज आई एम deliberately leaving calculations for you because this will allow you to actually go back to these questions, come back to these questions. So once I'm done with my session, go to PW JEE English WhatsApp channel. The lecture notes will be there in the in the WhatsApp channel. You can download it from the WhatsApp channel and then practice. Or else it is obviously there in the live section, so you can obviously watch the recording. But if you want these notes, go to PWJ English WhatsApp channel. You will be getting all these and practice these questions, guys. Now this question I would rather say is a good question. Sir, only this year? No, 2026 also. They are taking good questions. But why these questions are good? Because it is tarkofying with the ionic equilibrium logic as well. Let us see. The question says, consider the following electrochemical cell. Now, this is the cell reaction which is given. This is the oxidation half as an anode, and this is cathode. E cell is also given. Now, what is this? For this couple, it is for QH2 and Q. It is supplying you with the information that QH2 and Q is the hydroquinone electrode, as in this ketone forming this alcohol is the quinhydrone electrode. You need not know the basics. They are supplying you with the organic common sense of the electrode of the reduction half of this cell. E naught of silver is given. This value is given, and you are asked the pKb values of ammonium halide. Where is ammonium halide? This in the anodic compartment. I'm using this salt. Now this is a salt of weak base, which is ammonium hydroxide, and strong acid. So that means it is a salt of weak base, strong acid. So it is a case of salt hydrolysis. What salt hydrolysis? Sir, in ionic, I have given you the common sense also to learn the formula. The pH calculation of salt hydrolysis. So whenever such salt is present in water, so its hydrolysis will take place. And its hydrolysis tells you that pH of such salt, because acid is strong, so 7 minus. Remember, acid, when base is strong, so it is 7 plus. When acid is strong, so pH will definitely be less than 7. But what factor? Half of pK of the weaker part, which is base in this case, plus log C. C is the concentration of the salt, which is given out to be 0.01. Now, but ultimately, in order to find the value of pKb, I have to know the value of pH. How to know the value of pH? Write the complete reaction as per Nernst. So let us first write the reaction also. So reaction will be, this is anode half, this is the oxidation half, although this is written as a reduction half. So I'll write the reverse reaction. So that will be my oxidation half reaction. So what will be my oxidation half reaction? So this alcohol is going and forming the corresponding ketone, creating 2 electrons and twice of H plus ion. So this is my oxidation half reaction. So what about reduction half? This is clearly visible, sir. Ag plus will be taking electron, but here 2 electrons are given. So let us directly multiply it by 2 and giving twice of Ag solid. If I add these two reactions, I'll be getting my complete cell reaction. I'm not writing the complete cell reaction. Why? Because I am only interested in writing the value of E naught cell. So let me directly write the value of E cell for you. So E cell will be equal to E naught cell minus 0.059 upon what is the number of electron transferred? So 2 into log of. Now, concentration of product. So sir, this is pure solid, so I am not interested. Coming to this, sir, concentration of H plus ion squared. So in the numerator, I am having concentration of H plus ion squared upon Denominator, I have this Ag plus squared. So this is Ag plus iron squared. Why you are not writing other thing? Because law of principle of atom conservation, you know, whatever concentration of this you'll have, it will be same. So this is a fact also, that for such hydroquinone electrode, whatever is the concentration of this ketone, that will be same as the concentration of the alcohol. This is a common sense only, because this benzene ring, whatever moles of this side of carbon having benzene, you will be having the same concentration you will be having on the other side. So why writing their concentration? Because they'll be anyhow getting cancelled, because one will be at product, one will be at reactant. So rather I am even not considering them over here. Why to make our reaction bulky? So I'm cancelling them in my mind. I hope everybody has got that point now. Because now let us put the value. So E cell is already given to us in the question, I guess. Yeah, for the given cell, E cell is given out to be 0.4. So this is 0.4. What about E naught cell? Sir, E naught cell is E naught cathode. Who is cathode? Silver. So for silver, E naught is 0.8. So this is 0.8 minus. For this half, although this is my electrode which is getting oxidized, but I have to write its reduction potential. So this is whatever is given is the reduction potential only, because it is taking electrons. So the value is 0.7. So minus 0.7. So E naught cathode minus anode minus 0.06 by 2 is 0.03 into log of H plus ion concentration squared upon what is Ag plus. Okay, concentration of Ag plus is simple, 1 molar. So this is also 1. So I hope you can clearly see the value of 1, because this is 0.4, this is 0.1 plus. Why? Because minus of log of H plus is pH. That 2 I am taking over here. So 2 into 0.3 is 0.06 into pH. You can clearly find the value of pH from here. If you find pH, which is very easy also to calculate now, put the value of pH here. You will directly get value of pKb. But sir, what about log C? Concentration is 10 raised to the power minus 2. So I'm just writing this concentration value, which is 10 raised to the power minus 2, because salt concentration is also given. Now, into dividers, your piece of case? Yes. Initially only I told you, this is a good question. I'm just discussing one question so that you get this feeling that for doing an electrochemistry question correct, you have to be comfortable with the ionic theory as well. I'm helping you with the answers also. Once you'll solve, you'll get answer as 6. Moving to the next question. Sir, the question is very easy. Just the reactions. Yeah. Perfect. If you are comfortable with the theory, Alia, you are very correct, beta. Question was not difficult, not crucial. The appearance and the fear of some students from physical side of ionic equilibrium, electrochemistry, that creates a huge difference between a 99 percentiler and the others. So don't fear from anything. Hats off to Alia. Thank you, beta. Perfect. Moving to the next one. Now these are no-brainers, because such questions will be a crime to be missing on a paper. Like for this question, 2024 question, it is saying one of the commonly used electrode is calomel electrode. What is that calomel electrode, sir? Using platinum. If I use mercury, then this mercury undergoes metal insoluble salt anion electrode. So this is simply metal insoluble salt anion electrode, which is your famous calomel electrode. Advanced have asked so many times regarding these electrode. Means have also started asking, so your knowledge will help you gain marks easily. Next question says, now this change in EMF of the cell with respect to temperature is called the cell coefficient or temperature coefficient of the cell. It is basically called the temperature coefficient of the cell. So this is temperature coefficient of the cell. Now this is actually advanced loves it, but I mean this is just a common sense. You should just know the thermodynamic formula, that is delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. You should know this, that delta S is nothing but minus d by dt of which is differentiating with respect to temperature. Differentiating what? Differentiating delta G. This generally takes place at constant pressure, and one electrochemistry formula that delta G is equal to minus NF E cell. So ultimately, if you do not know these formulas also, they are valid for an advanced level of question, but the basic common sense of this differentiation of cell potential with respect to temperature is just a common sense which says that if you have a cell and you want the cell to be best and efficient, then you do not want the potential of the cell to change with respect to temperature. If I'm using a cell in summers, I want the same potential when I have gone to a cold city, maybe in winters. I don't want the potential to change. So what is the best possible cell that I want? I want the cell to have minimum cell potential. So the cell potential of 4 cells are given, which is having minimum cell potential. So multiplier is for all multipliers 10 to the power minus 4. So minimum cell potential is this. Question is asking, this is given, where is which of the above cells would be preferred to be used as a reference electrode. So as a reference electrode, I will be preferring that cell which is having least cell potential or temperature coefficient. So who is having lesser? C. So our answer is 3. I mean just simple question, but yes, again, like Alia said, appearance is difficult. का केमिकल काइनेटिक्स का क्वेश्चन करवा दो, उसने बहुत डाउट है बेटा. केमिकल काइनेटिक्स आई एम जस्ट मूविंग. केमिकल काइनेटिक्स में डाउट हो ही नहीं सकता है. केमिकल काइनेटिक्स दे जस्ट आस्क फर्स्ट ऑर्डर, zero order and Arrhenius equation. That's it. I'll be showing you. So moving to the next one. The next question from electrochemistry says, which of the following electrolyte can be used to obtain this? Now this is Marshall's acid, sir, but we know that if I have sulfate, which is sulfur in plus 6 oxidation state, so sulfur is already in plus 6 oxidation state, then how can it further oxidize? Yes, generally sulfate never oxidizes, but rather if you have a concentrated solution, then you have only sulfate. Then in such cases, sulfur also can show oxidation. How? It can form a dimer, which is S2O8 2 minus. Actually sulfur is not giving electrons because sulfur here also is in plus 6 oxidation state. Oxygen is giving electron and forming a peroxide linkage and giving 2 electrons. So, but this can only happen if you have a very large concentration of sulfate ion, because in general sulfate ion is very difficult to get oxidized. So this is also a very important concept, that if you use a concentrated solution of sulfuric acid, then because I am not having any water, that's why I am forcing sulfate ion to undergo oxidation and form this Marshall's acid. Is a very beautiful question involving block chemistry logic with electrochemistry. Good one. Moving to the next question. Again, student, don't try to do this, the common sense, the titration curve. So you have to choose the correct representation of conductometric titration of benzoic acid. Now this benzoic acid is a weak acid. So this benzoic acid, which is already present, let's say in the solution, will be having benzoic acid as in C6H5 COOH. Because it's a weak acid, so it will be forming very less amount of H plus ions. And as I add strong electrolyte, which is strong base, NaOH. So initially what happens is, whenever one drop of OH minus ion comes, so OH minus ion will neutralize this H plus and will be replaced by Na plus. Sir, because H plus is highly conducting, because it do not have to move itself, it transfer electrons with electron transaction. Therefore conductance of H plus is more and conductance of Na plus is less. Therefore once you introduce few drops, then at the initial stage you find a dip, because H plus is being replaced by Na plus, but just in the initial time. Why? Because this is a weak electrolyte. So whatever electrolyte, let's say out of 100 only 5 have ionized. So what is the concentration of these ions? Only 5. But in those 5 also, because H plus was present, so initially until 5 Na plus has replaced, so when 5 H plus will be replaced by 5 Na plus, I will find a dip. After the dip, once I get NaOH, extra, the 6th drop of NaOH will force the weak acid to dissociate, and hence concentration of ions will start increasing. Yes. Once all the 100 benzoic acid has been dissociated by 100 NaOH, till the time the conductance was increasing, but after the 101 NaOH coming, it will be creating more number of Na plus and OH minus ion because it's a strong base. And after that, the conductance will be increasing to the highest extent. A very beautiful concept started by advanced, but now mains also love them. I hope everybody is in sync with this. Yeah, beta. Moving to the, yes, Alia. Yeah. Moving to the, बहुत ज्यादा, बहुत ज्यादा, क्या बहुत ज्यादा, वो मेरी शिफ्ट में भी आया था. ओके लेंदी है. या आई मीन I have taken all the logics, beta. In this short span, I wanted to give you everything. So coming to the next question. The given below is the plot of molar conductivity and under root of concentration. So this is molar conductivity, this is under root of concentration. We definitely know this graph now. What are we asked? Now such questions only appear difficult. You are just asked that if for higher concentration, what is the higher concentration? So 0.15. Of the KCl solution, resistance of the conductivity cell is okay. So at this higher concentration, you are supplied with resistance R. But sir, this is graph of lambda m. So let us relate lambda m with R. So we know lambda m is equal to K into 1000 upon molarity, which is concentration. I hope everybody is clear with this. At higher concentration, value of lambda m is 100. But sir, this is value of lambda m. K is not supplied to us, but ultimately R is given to you, and you should definitely know this, that K is nothing but G into G asterisk, and G is nothing but 1 by R. So actually, you know K is equal to G asterisk upon R, which is G asterisk is cell constant. So instead of K, I'm writing G asterisk upon R, and the value of R is also given 100 into 1000 upon, what is the concentration? Sir, but this is under root of C. So because under root of C is 0.5, so what will be the value of C? 0.15 squared. Now this is the question is easy, but yes, it is calculative also and requiring basics of the formulas that you should know from electrochemistry. So I'm just making you revise the formula also, and obviously it will be a question for you to practice back at home. So this will give you the value of cell constant. Now let us see what is asked in the question. I'm not solving. You can solve and you can find G stick. Now you have to find the resistance of the same cell when dilute solution is, then the resistance of same cell when dilute solution is X ohm. Okay. So I have to find the resistance when the solution is dilute. So here concentration is more. So when it is dilute, when concentration is less. So what dilute condition I'm having? This. So at this concentration, I have to find the resistance. So again using the same data as in that data, because at this concentration, I know molar conductivity, which is nothing but 150. So 150 equals to, now I know G asterisk, which I can calculate with equation 1 upon R. Now this G asterisk is known, but now I have to calculate the resistance R into 1000 I know upon what is C? Under root C is 0.1. So this is 0.1 squared. I can clearly find R. Once you solve R, it will be 150. So you can solve that value, and value of R will then be coming out to be 150. I hope everybody, yeah, you have to solve it and then you will get your answer. I hope everybody is clear with this. A easy question, but yes, you are definitely have to be confident with the formulas, the basic formulas of electrochemistry. Moving to the next question, which says the molar conductivity of electrons. Now this is just a simple graph from NCERT. We know that A is for weak electrolyte. Why? Because at infinite dilution, when concentration becomes 0, when volume becomes infinitely large, the molar conductivity approaches infinity for a weak electrolyte, and it is a straight line for a strong electrolyte. So A is a weak electrolyte and B is a strong electrolyte. A very simple yet a JEE mains question. So rather don't leave electrochemistry, because you can many times can get a simple ball. So obviously if you get a bouncer, you may duck it, but if you are having this simple swing balls, so play the ball well. Moving to the chemical kinetics, which is nothing first order kinetics, zero order kinetics, and Arrhenius equation. Now the first question, the first type of question which you may get from chemical kinetics is writing the differential form of rate law. You are given with a reaction. The above reaction was studied at some temperature. The concentration of FeSO4, which is a reactant, so reactant will be getting disappeared, will be getting reacted. So what will be the rate of disappearance, which is d by dt of FeSO4. You can write differentials change also. You can write average change as in delta by delta T. So change in average change in concentration of reactant, which is FeSO4, upon change in time, but divided by the stoichiometric coefficient, which is 1 by 6. So this is rate of disappearance of reactant upon stoichiometric coefficient is equal to rate of reaction. But it is also equal to rate of formation of product, because we are asked about this product, which is ferric sulfate. So rather writing the rate law for that product. So rate of appearance is change in concentration of product, which is Fe2SO4 whole thrice ferric sulfate. This is rate of production of product upon its stoichiometric coefficient, which is 1 by 3. Now what are we given in the question? For ferrous sulfate, we are given that its concentration is changing from 10 to 8.8. So final initial is 10, final is 8.8. So 8.8 minus 10 is a negative thing, but that minus will become plus. That's why we write negative over here for the rate of decomposition of reactant, because reactant will get reduced. So in order to have a positive change, we write with the minus sign. So the difference is what? So difference is 10 minus 8.8 as in 1.2. How much time it is taking? Half an hour as in okay, so let me write in, okay, answer is asking you in seconds. So half an hour is 30 minutes. And 30 minutes is having how many seconds? Into 60. Okay. So this will be rate of disappearance of reactant into 1 by 6. It will be equal to 1 by 3 into the rate of production. Now the rate of production is what? Rate of production is this bubble. Rate of production of ferric sulfate is this bubble. So this bubble is nothing but 3 going over there. So you just have to do into divide and you will be getting your answer. Once you solve, answer will be 333. I'm just writing the answer for you. Calculation is your job, guys. So this is first differential form of rate law, which you should know. I hope this clarifies the differential form of rate law, which you should write once a balanced equation is given out to you. Moving to the next one. Prayas batch detail for JEE English will be soon out, beta. Just stay tuned for just few days and we'll be planning something big for you. Moving to the next question. The next type of question you get for a chemical kinetics is identification of order when experimental data are given. Now how to identify? We definitely know rate is directly proportional to concentration of reactants raised to the power stoichiometry. Now let's say this is X and this is Y. I do not know the value of X and Y. It may be 2, it may be 1. What it is can only be determined through experiment, and this is how we observe an experiment. Like for example, here concentration of A is constant. It is not changing. But concentration of B is from 0.2 is getting to 0.4, as in concentration is doubled, because 0.2 is made 0.4. Let us check what is happening to the rate. So this is -2, so this is 28, so 7 4 ja 28, so this is also 4 times. That means what power of 2 will make rate as 4 times? So 2. So that means with respect to B, what is order? So 2. Clearly, I mean, such questions are very probable, very probable, and very easy also. This is how you do it. Now, I know with respect to B, power is 2. Let us check with respect to A. Now, here B is constant, but A is increasing how many times? Sir, by a factor of 4. Let us check what is happening to the rate. Sir, this is -3, so this is 24, 6, 24. That means this is also 4 times. So how can 4 becomes 4 when power is 1? So this x is definitely 1. So what are we asked? Overall order is x plus y. So this is clearly 3. Moving to the next one. The similar question, beta. The similar question. Now this is homework for you. I hope you can do this. The same logic you have to apply over here. Now, this is a type of question which some students find it difficult because they do not know how to write the chemical equilibrium behind it. Now, this reaction is a first order kinetics. So, because it's a first order kinetics as an A forming B and C in gaseous state. So, let's say initially this is P naught and I do not have P and C. Let's say at time T, X is dissociated, so X and X will be produced, and at time infinite, as in when complete reaction has taken place, so complete A gone, so this is nothing. So I've got P naught and P naught. Now I have to write the expression bit in form of P infinity and PT. P infinity and PT. At time T, the total pressure is PT. So this is the time T and this is at time infinity. So let us do for infinite time. So what is total pressure at infinite time? Sir, pressure of A, which is 0 plus this plus this. So this is 2 P naught. So I clearly know P naught is nothing but P infinity by 2. Point number 1. Next, sir, we definitely know total pressure at time T, which is given out to be PT. It is equal to this plus this plus this. So X and X will get cancelled. So it will be nothing but P naught plus X. So what is X? X is PT minus P naught. Now, in the rate expression, what I have in the first law integral rate expression, I have concentration of A naught upon AT as in concentration of pressure. So what is concentration of pressure of A at time T? It is not X, it is P naught minus X. So rather, let us directly calculate P naught minus X. P naught, I already know in terms of P infinity. P naught is nothing but P infinity by 2. And what about X? X I have just found over here. So minus of this as in PT minus minus plus P naught, which is again P infinity by 2. I hope everybody is clear with this now. So that means this P naught minus X can be written as P infinity by 2 plus P infinity by 2 as in P infinity minus PT. I hope everybody is comfortable with this now. Using the integral form of rate law, I can say Kt is equal to ln of initial concentration as in P naught, so which is P infinity by 2 upon concentration of reactant or the pressure of reactant remaining at time T, which is P naught minus X, which is P infinity minus PT. So this, we just have to identify this form in this equation. 1 by T, P infinity, this is clearly option 3. So this finishes one type of questions. Yeah, Vinod, perfect beta. Now, last type of question beta. I mean, first order and second order type of questions. So for a zero order reaction, what you should know? So rate law, which is concentration of reactant which is remaining at time T is equal to initial concentration minus Kt. The first law kinetics that you should know, and T half for such reaction is nothing but A naught upon 2K. Now for half life for such reaction is 1 hour. So here half life is given as in this is 1 and initial concentration is 2. So A naught value is given out to be 2. So ultimately you know K is 1. Now time required, now after doing this is equation 1 with which you have got K. Time required to decrease concentration of A from 0.5 to 0.25. So what is AT? 0.25. From what I have started from 0.5, so initial will be 0.5 minus K I know is 1 and I can clearly find the value of T. This is your answer. Here answer is coming out to be in R. So if it matches over here, or else you have to convert it in minute also, because I think if you solve you'll get 0.25. So 0.25 hour is 15 minutes. So answer is 15 minutes. Your answer also tricks you sometimes. So such, I mean, this is again here T half is linearly increasing with initial concentration. That means this is nothing but zero order, because we have seen for a zero order reaction T half is directly proportional. So ultimately, because this is a zero order reaction, so what is the slope? So we definitely, for a zero order reaction, T half is equal to A naught upon 2k. So actually value of slope is 1 upon 2k. So 1 upon 2k is given out to be 76.92. So ultimately I know the value of k. And the same thing I have to do concentration of A at time t 20 minutes. So this is T 10. I need to find 80, and what is A naught? I'm starting with 2.5 moles. So A naught, the same question, the same formula is applied again and again. I've given you that formula. So this also you can practice with the same formula. Now, again, doing the integral form of rate law for first order kinetics. What is the formula for first order kinetics, sir? It is Kt is equal to ln of initial concentration upon concentration of reactant remaining at time t. Now, for this reaction is reaction first, this is reaction 2, the ratio of half-life of reaction 1 and reaction 2. Now, what is half-life for a first order reaction? For a first order reaction, half-life is nothing but ln2 upon k. ln2 can also be written as 0.693. Now these formulas will be applied in all the questions. So please attempt these formulas. I'm just giving you all the logics behind them. Now you are given ratio of half-lives of reaction 1 and reaction 2. Sir, half-life ratio whatever we have, because half-life is inversely proportional to value of rate constant. So because half-life ratio is 5/2, so K2 upon K1, because this is T half of first by 2. So ratio of K2 by K1 will be equal to 5/2, because it is K is inverse of half-life. So T1 first half-life of first upon 5 half-life of second will be equal to K2 by K1, that is equal to 5/2. So this is given. Now T1, T2 represent time taken for completion of, okay, 2/3. So T1, K1, T1 is equal to ln of, let's say initially I'm having 1, 2/3 completed. So what is remainder? So 2/3 gone. So what is left? 1 minus 2/3, as in 1/3. So 1 upon 1/3 is nothing but K1 T1 is ln of 3. Similarly, K2 T2 will be ln of initial, let's say 1, how much it is left? 4/5. So 1 minus 4/5 is 1/5. So I directly have 5 over here. Now you just have to do the ratio, because you have to calculate ratio of T1 and T2. So K2 T2 will be equal to ln of 5. So this log 3 log 5 value is given to you. K2 K1 ratio I know 5/2. I just have to calculate T1 T2. You solve, and once you solve, you will get the ratio as 17 into 10 raised to power minus 1 into divide is your piece of case, guys. I hope everybody can attempt it. Simple questions. This is nothing. Rate with respect to time, sir, it is decreasing, and because the straight line is with concentration, so that means this is AT is equal to A naught minus KT, and because A represents concentration of reactant, this is a straight line, so that means this is talking for a zero order reaction, and here instead of A I have ln of A, that means this is a first order kinetic. Simple question, first and zero. I mean, you don't have to move your pen for such questions. Now last is Arrhenius equation. Through Arrhenius theory, we know rate constant K is equal to Arrhenius factor A, which is a constant, into exponential of minus activation energy upon RT. This formula you should know. If you rather take a log, then log of K will be equal to log of A. If I've taken ln first and after that, so if I've taken ln, it will be minus E upon RT, and converting it into log, so I'll get a factor of 2.303 also in the denominator. So this is a relationship where I know log K, which is treated as Y, 1 upon T, which is treated as X. Let me write 1 upon T with a different pen. So this 1 upon T is taken as X. So this Y and X is a straight line. And what is the slope of this straight line? The slope is EA upon 2.303 R. Yes, it is a negative slope. So obviously it is decreasing, but it is a negative slope. But let us go to the magnitude. So who is responsible for the magnitude? Sir, activation energy. So who is having highest activation energy? Sir, highest activation energy is of 2. 2 activation energy order, 2 is having highest because its slope is highest. After that, sir, 1, and least is of 3. Now this is just a graphical representation of your basic Arrhenius equation, which NTA loves, JEE loves. So 2, 1, 3, option 1, clearly your answer. Similar question, similar logic is used. Now it is saying first reaction is slow. Because first reaction is slow, so its activation will be highest. Yes, this is highest, so it can be an answer. It is showing this activation is highest. No, because first is slow, remainder will be fast. This is high. Yes. No, this is also high. See the magnitude, this magnitude is less, that magnitude is more. So this also cannot be your answer. Yes. Here this also is high. Yes. So you can have either 1 and 4 as your answer. What about other one? BC is fast, CD is fast. So here B is produced, here C is produced. Here B is produced, here C is produced. Okay, both are exothermic. So energy enthalpy will be less. Here, yes, ultimately it is less. No. Here B energy is this and C energy is this. That means this becomes an endothermic process. So just because this becomes a delta H positive case, therefore it is violating the given data, and hence this becomes incorrect, and hence I am left with only one question. Now this is also correct, a good question. I hope everybody in sync with this. Now for this question also, I'm just summarizing this logic with chemical equilibrium logic, that if you multiply the value of K, that means reaction, that means the reaction is getting added up. And if you are dividing, that means reaction is getting subtracted. For example, let's say I definitely know that K1, K2, K3 are rate constant for 3 different reactions. Let's say K1 is equal to A1, the factor, the constant, minus e raised to minus EA1 upon RT. For case of simplicity, I'll write EA1 as E1. Similarly, K2 will be equal to A2 e raised to minus E2 upon RT. And K3 will be equal to A3 into e raised to minus E3 upon RT. Because we are given that for overall reaction K, it is under root of K1, K3 upon K2. So the value of constants, let us recollect them and put them one side. So this will be A1, A3 upon A2. So this will be A net of the overall reaction. Sir, what about value of E? So it will be e raised to the power minus. I'm multiplying these two. That means 1 and 3 will be multiplied. So power will be added. I'm taking minus common. So E1 plus E3. And because K2 is subtracted, so this will be in the K2 will be in the denominator. So this will come to the numerator with the opposite sign. So this will be a sign. This will be coming with a negative sign. Upon, because I'm having 1 by 2, so this power will be having raised to the power 1 by 2. So this will be into 1 by 2. So that 2 will be coming in the denominator. So 2RT. So ultimately, if you just check that for overall reaction, this is e raised to minus E effective upon RT. So in place of this E, which is E of the net reaction, what are you having? I'm having E1 plus E3 minus E2. This is 2. Just add the values. Activation energy for first is 60. For third, it is 10. And for second, it is 30. But yes, I have a factor of 2 also. So upon 2. So upon 2. Just solve and get your answer. I hope everybody is comfortable. Yes, it was a good question, logically a very convenient question, but if you have your logics right, like the same question here, K, so this is constant A, this is e raised to the power minus E upon RT. So in place of minus E upon R, I have minus 26,000. You just have to calculate EA. Because it is asking in kilojoule, so divided by 1000, so you will be getting answer in kilojoule. Do your into divide and again you will be getting the same type of questions, beta. The same question over here also. Here rate constant is measured with different temperature. The data is already given. Now again you have to find the value of activation energy because this is ln k and that is 1 upon t. So again write that form. K is equal to A into e raised to power minus E upon RT. So ln k will be equal to ln A minus EA upon RT, but it is saying T into 10 is power 3. So because I need a 10 is power 3 in the numerator, so rather I'll have 10 is power 3 in the denominator also. So ultimately this value is nothing but the slope. So EA upon R into 10 raised to the power 3 is nothing but slope, and slope mathematically you know it is y by x, as in 10 by 5. So 10 by 5 is how much? 2. Solve this, you will get value of EA again. Vinod, yes beta, I am giving you the logic. I am deliberately making things quick because yes, Sumit sir will be starting. And because this is 7, so I have given you all the details so that you may be attempting these questions back at home, because these are all probable logics. I have deliberately tried to make you revise all the questions and do all the problems. Yes, into divide will be your job, which you have to do back at home, which will help you to practice also and to learn also if you have missed any of the formulas. So all the best, and I wish you all the best of luck for your later days and sessions so that you